So you are someone who has never lived life by a routine. You wake up each day and just start doing things. You're just like a leaf floating through the wind, doing what you like, whenever you like, and you just generally have a very hard time being consistent with things. Perhaps you've attempted to follow a routine multiple times when you were highly motivated, and each time after a couple of days, you just gave up and went back to living life in a chaotic fashion. What if I told you that you do not have to live life like this, based on your whims and desires? What if I told you that you can actually make a routine and enjoy following it without having to use raw motivation to constantly just push yourself? What if I told you that you could make your routine so automated that you would not even have to think about it? In this video, I'm going to share 4 principles that are going to allow you to achieve exactly that. Principle number 1 is to make things easy. When people who have never followed a routine finally decide to follow one, the biggest mistake that they make is that they make the routine super complicated and hard. Filled with tasks after tasks, what ends up happening is as soon as the motivation runs out, the routine begins to seem like a prison cell. The laundry list of tasks that you have included in your routine now begin to feel like a mountain, and what ends up happening is you quit even before you actually start. Imagine you are someone who's interested in learning how to climb rocks, and on your very first day of learning, someone asks you to go and climb Mount Everest. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? And rightly so. This is exactly what most people are doing with their routines. They are making them extremely difficult to do. When you're a newbie, you need to make the routine something super easy to do. It could literally be 2 tasks or even 1 task a day for starters. Look in the mirror and have an honest conversation with yourself. Negotiate with yourself. Ask yourself, almost as if you were talking to a friend, what is the bare minimum that you are willing to do tomorrow? Once you have the answer to that, add that to your routine. Depending upon how used to following a routine you are, your routine could include anywhere from 1 task to 10 tasks. My advice is to start easy and gradually build up your routine. If you make things too hard at the beginning, you are more than likely going to quit. Principle number 2, don't be a perfectionist. You see, when people decide to change their lives, they want to see rapid change. And for that to happen, they believe that they must absolutely be perfect at the thing that they do. Paradoxically, this mindset has the exact opposite effect. It causes performance anxiety and additional stress, and once again makes the routine a prison sentence and makes it too hard to follow. Like back when I started living a life with a routine, I had a success rate of like 30%. Like I could only do 30% of the tasks that I had planned to do as part of my routine. And even that was a significant improvement from the life that I was living, which I had absolutely no routine in it. Even now, having lived a life that involves a routine, I still don't do 100% of the things that I have on the routine on most days. Don't be a perfectionist. Sometimes the desire to be perfect impedes with your desire to begin. Be gentle on yourself. I promise you that you will come close to being perfect the longer you live your life following a routine. As a newbie, I want you to redefine what the word perfect even means. Perhaps for the time being, perfect means to stick to your routine 50% of the time. And if you could manage to do so, be proud of yourself. However, make sure that you're becoming more and more consistent as time goes on. Perhaps week 1 is 50% targeted success rate and week 2 is 60% target success rate. Once you are consistently doing 90 to 95% of the tasks on your routine, you can stop pushing the gas pedal and start coasting and enjoying the automated routine. The third principle is to have a time and a venue fixed for each task. You see, when you add a time and a venue to the activity that you're going to perform, then you are much more likely to do that activity. For example, let's say that you wish to work out tomorrow. Then make sure you include the exact time when you should be doing this workout and the exact venue where this workout is going to take place. So an example of that would be, I am going to work out tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the gym. Not having a time and venue fixed keeps things vague, and it forces you to think about these things and make decisions on the go. The very purpose of having a routine is to not have to make decisions on the go. Firstly, because decisions made on the go are usually not the best ones. And also because making decisions on the go costs you energy. You don't want to spend energy on making decisions throughout the day. Make sure that all the decisions about time and venue are made prior to the beginning of your day for all the activities that you intend to perform on that day. Principle number 4 is to expect life to happen. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you. Back when I started living life based on a routine, I realized that there were days when something unpredictable showed up or a certain task took way longer than I expected. You need to have contingencies to deal with these scenarios, or else your routine is just going to break. What you need to do is always overestimate how long a task is going to take. So for example, if I wish to, let's say, do task X tomorrow, and I know it's going to take me 1 hour, in my routine, I'm going to place it such that it takes me something like 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I actually do this for each of the tasks that I have for that day. This really acts like a buffer and helps preserve the routine just in case a task takes longer than I expected it to take. Another buffer that I add is between tasks. So let's say I need to study for 2 hours and then I need to hit the gym. I will usually add a buffer of 30 minutes between these tasks, as I know there are some filler activities that I have not accounted for. These are things such as getting dressed for the gym, the time it takes to drive there, maybe there's a phone call you have to make, or things like that. Always overestimate how long a task is going to take and also place buffer between tasks. This will really help you preserve your routine. Now let's say life has thrown a curveball at you and a disruptive event shows up. Here is the contingency for that. When such an emergency event happens that demands your immediate attention, then you kind of need to go off your routine and address it. However, as soon as the calamity or the emergency is dealt with, you need to immediately go back to the next task in the routine. You need to skip the tasks whose time was consumed by the unexpected event and continue your routine from the next possible spot. Don't let the perfectionist attitude creep in and tell you, oh, I have already missed so many tasks in the routine, might as well skip all of it. Don't do that. There you have it, folks. These were my 4 tips on how to stick to a routine. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're interested in more content that revolves around self-improvement and productivity, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, keep the ball rolling and keep self-improving.